Yeah, you're gonna see me over here producing while we're talking too. So I'll be, don't.
I'll
I'm
probably be
listening. I
watching you
promise.
do that shit.
I'm
That's
listening.
so interesting to me, bro.
I know. I'll bring these things in the studio for you. You can do a whole workout video. I could do 3 angles for you. We can we can throw down easy.
That is it.
Well, yeah. I'll just go ahead and kick it off then. So welcome in my friend Rodney Baker. It's been so long, Rodney. It's been so long since we got to see each other in person. So I'm happy. Sure. I'm glad that you came out and did this. I was telling you before I started rolling. It's like I've been watching from afar and Facebook, social media, and I see like, what's this man doing right now? I'm like, all right, he's clearly dadding. He's dadding hard
for sure.
He's doing all that shit, and then you're jacked. You're yoked out of your mind, man. Right, man, and then
40, bro.
I know.
I'm functional. That's what I am.
You should be proud of that. You should be proud of that, right? I mean, we start hitting that age, and then it's like, then people are like, "Oh, I have to work out now." It's not a choice anymore. It's not fun for fun.
Yeah. Well,
and it looks like you're kind of making almost. I don't know. Is it career? Is it like a kind of your own venture right now?
Dude, it is everything. Career venture. So it went from a hobby and idea to a vehicle.
So was it like you're always working out? Like, did you always like stay in shape? I mean, clearly, just quick backstory. Rod and I went to high school together. We went to Joliet West. We knew each other through people. We knew. I can't remember how we met, like officially,
but
like
a crazy white dude running through the hall.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. That's what I like to hear.
I mean, if you know, you know. But if you know, everybody loved Joe, man, and that's how we became friends. Everybody loved Joe, man. You was just a good guy. We crossed paths back then.
Those were the days where like we didn't really have a choice. We were just built like cut and ready to go because we were 16, 17, 18. You were doing sports or in powerlifting, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And years rolled by and it was like college. I stayed on it, right?
Yeah.
College, I had to get some girls. I had to I had to stay in that mode. You got a bunch of dudes you're hanging out with every day. You're living next to everybody. You're going to the gym all the time. Everybody's going to the gym. And then I graduated, and then it got a little bit further and further from the gym, and I got a little bit, and then I got like a renaissance in like 2016 where I was back at it, and I got back, I got cut. I was like, in my mid 30s, and then I just kind of fell off again. And now at 40, like if you go in my garage, I have a little sauna and I've got a little cold plunge that I built out of a chest freezer.
Okay.
So I got a Bowflex downstairs that somebody actually gave me as he was trying to get rid of it. I was like, I'll fucking take it. Honestly, it's like treadmill down there. My problem is consistency. Like, how did you stay consistent? Like,
oh man, how did I stay consistent? Brother, it all started, like I said, sports, just a hobby, and then as we aged, it just became more and more important. See, on the other side of that, for me, I needed it. I had to stay healthy mentally, physically. I didn't have kids until I was 30. So it wasn't like I was chasing around kids and no shit like that. Hell yeah, dude.
30. I think I was like 26 or 27 when we had Addison. So
well,
that's right.
But then I turned around and have 4 in 3 years.
So you banged them out quick.
Quick, late and quick. Bam, we in there, we out of there. But that just it really made it like a real thing for me that I had to pursue. It was literally like my life depended on it. If I didn't, what we gonna do out here in small town Illinois, but drink beer and fuck around.
The people you surround yourself with, right?
I mean, listen, dude, you from the Midwest. You gonna drink your beer. You gonna hang out in your garage.
Made a living out of it for a while.
It is what it is. So I just had to have the balance in my life. So that was what it was. And so, like I said, I created a vehicle to deliver services. I went to college in Iowa. I was fortunate enough to.
You went to Iowa? You went to University of Iowa?
University of Dubuque, small town.
You went to Dubuque?
Yeah.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah, man.
See?
So, and we actually had like a little Joliet pipeline out there. So it was a lot of fellas. Rob Nichols. I remember Rob. Rob ended up.
Hey, Rob was an athlete.
Rob
cornerback, right? Rob was a corner, right?
Corner, receiver, running back. Rob was everything. Mr. Everything back
Bring
then.
that mic right to you. Right to you. Sorry.
We good?
But yeah, no, you're fine. I just, the better I can hear you, the better.
No,
the better that the final product will be. Yeah, Rob. I knew Rob from Hufford too. I mean, did you go to Hufford? I don't remember.
No, I was a Troy boy, man.
Yeah, you're a Troy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rob and like Eric Gregg and that whole
all them the guys, man. They was all actually. I seen them maybe
good athletes.
Absolutely good guys, bro. So being in that friend circle, it helped in the long run. And so the vehicle came. The idea, the vehicle came, and that's when it really started to grow wings, man. Say about 6 years or so ago.
So 6 years, and go ahead and tell people what it is exactly. I mean, I kind of alluded to it being like your thing. I mean, but what did you is that the branding on your shirt there?
Yeah. Always branding, always promoting. But Gifted Elite Academy is the brand. Gifted, Gifted.
Mm-hmm.
God is first thought every day. Okay. Foundation there. Educate, support, and inspire are our 3 pillars. And through those things, that's how we deliver the fitness-related services. Community education, group fitness classes, personal training. So just kind of like wrapped all of that shit into one so that, I don't want to go to work. I want to this is what I want to do.
That's what I
mean?
thought. I lucked out. I'm working at home the last couple of years for a company, but yeah, like I'd rather probably do my own thing. Like if I could build this podcast to where it made a living where I could take care of 3 kids and my beautiful wife, like I would do it in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
So I mean, that's something you took really seriously, and you're like, all right, how do I make this a reality for myself?
You know what really it was, man. I started to fall in love because I always knew fitness, just being an athlete and being, going to college for health and things like that. But learning the other side of it, the business, bro, I fell in love with the shit.
So the story started Dubuque kind of, or?
Yeah, it started Dubuque, just being a collegiate athlete. Of course, you just in it. I did an internship with the University of Iowa. And a guy from our school, he worked with the strength conditioning coach. I can't remember his name. Real big guy, just got into some shit a few years ago.
Okay.
Out in Iowa, strength and conditioning guy. But
you can get into it in Iowa.
Man, yeah, you
should
can,
be happening out in Iowa sometimes, Rodney.
But I did my internship there and started, of course I was sharp with my craft always, bro, but I had to figure out that business part. And once I started to, network and meet certain people, advisors, things like that shit took off, bro.
You always had a good personality. Like you were always, you weren't quiet. I wouldn't say you were quiet, right? I mean, you always had a good personality. You always had friends.
Would describe me as quiet.
and never like one type of person were you around. You were around. You knew everybody. Like everybody knew you. I mean, you kind of said that about me, but really, like I felt the same way about you. Like you were social. Like you were a social person. So. I'm not surprised that you have like business acumen and like marketing and networking skill, So did it come natural? Was it something you've been working on?
No.
Like, yeah, you had to push it.
Hell no. I really had to push it to learn it, bro, because like I said, my craft is fitness. So I knew I could tell you how to do everything. But
did you play football at Dubuque? Is that what you were? Yeah. Were you
track.
playing D or
outside linebacker?
Okay,
bro.
you were playing outside. Okay.
Underside, 5'8", 175,
Speed.
Soaking wet,
sideline to sideline.
I was a banger, bro.
So you were just hitting.
I wanted it.
Yeah.
I was a banger. I had something to prove. A bunch of dudes from Florida out there. I was
hungry.
I saw real speed out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up. But I fit in. I had a place, and it worked out for me, bro.
That's a good point though, because you were kind of starting to get into the fact that like, yeah, you always knew fitness, right? Because you were an athlete. Sure, fitness, but there's a lot of people. I just had a person on recently that she's a photographer, but she can't teach people photography because she knows it when she sees it. So as a tuned athlete, somebody who's been doing this for as long as you are, you're playing football at a collegiate level. Just because you can do that doesn't necessarily mean that you can teach it or bestow it upon people, explain it with words, run a class for somebody.
Right.
So that's something that clearly you must have had to develop over time.
Yeah, and you get that through education, bro. If the people, the consumer, whatever this person is, whatever they paying you for, they paying for you that experience. And so once I was able to deliver like the experience that I wanted to give them, like the why, because what the fuck, man, you can go on the internet and look up a workout, and
YouTube's
do this
crazy.
shit, and it's crazy, all of that shit.
COVID, man,
it's
what
crazy.
People were doing,
but it's
yoga videos.
It didn't. Some people say, "Oh, it messed the game up." I don't think so. It just separated the real from the fakers. You know what I mean? So you actually got to know what you're talking about.
So what do you mean you messed the game? Like, what's that criticism? Where's that come from?
We talking like in terms of fitness, because you can hop on Instagram, any social
oh, you're
media
saying
app.
people say that messes.
Yeah,
it up.
it messed the game up.
I'm
because
sorry, I
now
thought you were
got
saying
these-
people were directing that towards you
Oh
specifically.
no. I mean, like, hell no. You know, the internet though, because like I said, you can hop on and you can look up a workout, and this person is an influencer, and if I do this, I'm great and all that shit or whatever. But what people really need is the why. Because if everybody could just pop on the internet, and it'd be that easy. So that's
what's the point. What's the point of me being here?
Yeah, but that's what I really prided myself on, is the education, support, and inspiration to my individuals that I serve.
And then
that's just not through fitness, bro. That's life.
That's just
anybody I come across.
That's good. That's a good segue actually to what I wanted to ask you. I wanted you to elaborate on was the name Gifted. I mean, you kind of elaborated slightly on why. Is that something that gifted piece like something you've always had in your mind? Like, is that something that you like a mantra from your younger days, or is that something you developed over time? As like, this is part marketing, part mission statement, part vision statement?
From what I can remember, I think I had a dream, bro. I think I had a dream, and I was like, I used to hang out with my sister a lot at this time, and I was like, gifted. God is first thought every day, and it initially was just that. Like, I just had this dream about this. It came to me, so I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna keep that. And then at the time, I was making a lot of music. So I'm like, hey, gifted. What was it? What was it? Gifted. Oh, fuck it. I don't know. Gifted something, man. Gifted entertainment. That's what it was.
Okay.
My bad. I'm forgetting my own shit.
Okay.
It was gifted entertainment, right? Well, so I was like,
you've lived a lot of life.
That was it.
We hit 40 now, dude.
A lot of fucking life, bro. Don't keep saying
we
that,
forget
bro.
shit.
Stop
we
saying
forget shit sometimes.
No, it's a blessing. But gifted entertainment was, the initial idea. We was gonna take it there. It still stood for God is first thought every day. But I was just like, this is what I represent, and this is gonna be my brand going forward, right? And so the music thing, I still, my heart is still there. I love making music, bro. But it came to a point where I had to kind of pivot. It ain't turning enough bucks for me. Mm-hmm. And I started having kids on top of that. So I'm like, I still kick some shit, but it just wasn't what I wanted to put all my energy into. Yeah. What am I doing every day that I could replace this with, that I love equally? I have a passion for it, and it was fitness. And so, from there, it just snowballed like crazy, bro. Yeah. Crazy. So in the best way possible. I benefit, the people I serve benefit, my kids benefit, my community benefits from it. So it's just an all-around win. It's
huge, right, to have your children see you kind of build those habits almost. Yeah. I mean, I'm giving my kids all kinds of good and bad habits all over the place, I feel like. But you know what I mean? Like that such a good example. Like, I mean, even just for me, for example, like nothing against my dad, but my dad didn't work out. Like he worked at a factory, he came home, he was tired as shit. Right. He went to bed, he ate whatever was on the table, and that was it. There was no like, I'm going on a bike ride, I'm getting on a treadmill, I'm lifting weights. Like, that was something I developed from, people like you going to being in powerlifting class with people, or like meeting athletes and being like, I want to get yoked like that too, man. And luckily, like, it stuck with me. So now, like, my kids see me when I go to work out or go downstairs, and my son wants to figure out how to set the Bowflex up to do squats because he's playing baseball. He knows the power's coming from the base.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, it's funny that you mentioned the music thing too, because if we'll jumble up our life story together, but I mean, at one point, we graduated together, right? 2002. You're
2003.
So you're younger than me then in school. So so we were in
your class was the shit though. 2002.
Brandon was in my class, right? Banks was in my class.
Y'all class was the shit.
We need to do a lot of shout outs in this episode. We're gonna
shout
have to
out
get some names out there. Rob Nichols, Eric Gregg, Banks, Jabari,
all the homies,
Jabari doing
big
the whole,
things.
I mean, all of them. So you and I kind of cross paths here and there, but like after high school, I didn't see you much at all, really. I mean, I was 02, you graduated in 03, and then it was probably like 09 or something. So a buddy of ours, my brother's actually really close friend, bought what was Alphas 2, I think, at the time, and then they made it JP's, and then our music kind of actually crossed our paths again because I was hosting open mics there,
Yes,
and I
sir.
think you guys would come, and I don't know if it was you or people that were with you that would get on and do a quick set or something. Did you
that
get
was
on?
me.
You would get up there.
That was all me,
So
bro.
it wasn't like a crew with you. This
Nah,
was like
I would
just,
come. I would bring a crew.
just
like
friends and stuff.
people want to come see the show.
And
Yeah,
House maybe. Yeah, I can't remember.
not really.
I don't remember at that time. If
Ricky Wallace's brother Renardo,
Yeah.
he used to be there. I always had my uncle. I always had a lot of support
Yeah.
from the town, my family. So the shit was cool.
It worked out for me too because I was struggling to get people there to play music, like quality music. So it was like I was playing so much and I just wanted to host, and I had to play so much just to fill a lot of time and everything. And then you guys started coming. I was like, all right, I got some more talent here. Like take a little pressure off me and get you guys stage time and all that. So
Stars definitely aligned.
kind of funny how that worked out. And then so we actually see each other every now and again at a bar, have a couple of beers and talk some shit, and then get to kind of see the music thing and how you're developing and all that. So, but again, sorry, fast forward back to this. It's not putting enough in your pocket, right? So now it's time to make something else.
Yeah, nah, I had to pivot.
How did the early days, what was your plan right off the bat in the fitness thing? Right out of the gate. You're what, 6 years in?
What's up, dude?
Oh, there's the 3-year-old. What's up, JJ? It's all right, hon. Don't worry. Go ahead, buddy. Hey, go ahead. We're still talking.
Look at the show. He ain't trying to hear that.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Go. I see you smell like cucumbers, boy. That's JJ.
Shout out to the dads.
He doesn't
man.
mess around.
Shout out to the dads.
Yeah.
That was real dad shit. I can
every day.
100%
Every day.
relate. I love it, bro. I love
Imagine
to see it.
every time that kid's here and I'm doing one of these, he's got to try to find his way in it.
You damn right.
I'm all right with that though.
Shit, I would too.
See, I got 2 older ones that are 12 and 13 upstairs,
Okay.
But then we kind of messed up 8 years later all of a sudden at another one.
Yeah, buddy.
I should get a sponsorship from the vasectomy joint, but
Just hurry up and get that going so I can get my shit.
I get yelled at all the time. I'm like, why? How are you not? How are you not yet? Shit, you say you went to debate 3 and 4 years or 4 and 3 years?
4 and 3, yeah.
Okay.
I had a set of twins and then
I was going to ask you that. I was going through your Facebook and I was like, those got to be twins, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
My babies, man.
How old are they now?
8.
8? Boy
Yeah.
and girl too.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, right? You get both.
Dude, it is.
It's kinda
I know
best of
you
both
ever seen
worlds.
like the memes or go you imagine you come home to this, man. I actually lived that shit.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's crazy, bro. The light, everybody like, man, how you do that shit? Once that switch get flipped, and I know Dad, it's just
There's no coming back from that.
autonomous.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But I really just go full force with it, and I love it, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's where it's at for me.
That's just how you approach things, though, right? I mean, I think you kind of said that in talking about Gifted, right? Like that's not just a name, it's not a brand, it's not even just a vision statement. It's part of your life, like the way that you approach stuff, and that's probably part of your makeup, I assume, and that's why you approach everything like that. I'm sure you approach music like that, football like that, fitness like that, and now parenting. Why would that be any different?
Right. Right. You're right.
So you rip off 4 kids all in that tight of time right there, right? So your life completely changed. Do you remember do you remember like your thought process, like when you first found out you're having your first one? Were the twins first, or did you?
Nah, my oldest Rodney the third. He's first. So
How old's Rodney?
Rodney's 10.
10.
Yep, on the autism spectrum. Good kid, man, doing well in school, but it was an adjustment, I thought at the time, well, I was 29, almost turning 30, so
Okay.
I say I had, I waited till 30, but I was really 29. But it was an
Same
adjustment. Thing. Yeah, thank you. Shit, but no, it was cool, man. Like Rod came in, it was normal. When I say normal, I mean the transition was normal. It didn't seem heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't seem like a daunting task. That was like, oh, this what it is. You know what I mean? When you cut like that, that's what it is. So,
so what was the situation then right off the bat with Mom? Like everything's like you and Mom working together. You guys having to figure out time. Like, so
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like because right, it really dictates like how much you can jump right in, right?
Yeah, no, it was cool in the beginning, but things got a little rocky. Her and I ended up having the twins, and then I ended up having another child by somebody else. So
that's how you get the quick.
That's
quick
how
four.
you get.
That's how you get
That's
a
how
quick
you
four
bust
spot.
them off quick. But no pun intended. Actually, yeah, I did mean that.
Yeah, I did
but
mean that.
but bro, I mean for real, you would think like the average person, just being straight up about it, you drop 4 kids on the average person, they'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no doubt.
But I mean,
The overwhelming mental, financial, everything all at once.
Yeah.
You're just running through your head.
But I was able to use that, and it turned me up.
It was like
to this day. I'm
like
turned.
demon chasing you.
It was,
Like, no,
fucking
that
demon.
sounded terrible. That sounded terrible.
But it was something.
It was a fire lit.
It was something.
To get
but
you moving.
No, it was the best, worst thing ever. Like, I mean, for real.
Yeah.
It helped me kind of settle in, figure out who I am, what I want out of life, how I want to raise, how to parent. Meaning you got to clean your own shit up too.
Yeah, what was your like example growing up? Like,
my dad, man, no doubt, no question, man. My dad is still my example.
My family's just so like, it's so typical. My parents didn't really fight anything, like not in front of us at least. It's, they did, but nothing that were like stuck to my head. Like, holy shit. Like,
yeah.
I talked to a lot of people that are like, my parents either they weren't together or they fucking hated each other or they hate each other. I was really lucky, so I got a good example right off the bat. And so you're saying same thing for you, like dad's at that.
Well, I'm a man
solid.
though, so I'm gonna say my dad, but
mom
truthfully,
was,
is mom and dad. My parents still married to this day, but just now in hindsight, I am my dad all over again.
Are you?
This shit
No
is
shit.
crazy. Like, I hear it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit.
I got like my dad's like kindness, but my dad, like, I got all my mom's like social attributes, like everything's talking and being in people's business and fucking, just being wild and loud and stuff. And my dad's like the complete opposite in that case, but my dad is like the most cordial, like non-conflict kind of person. I think I took a lot of that away from him. But it's always big credit to moms all times, right?
But big credits to
dads
too.
They're just there. They're just there all the time. They're taking care of all that fucking shit. That nobody else wants to handle.
Moms, appreciate it, but dads,
Well, I mean, our generation gets to kind of set a new standard. Like we set a new standard,
shit, bro?
right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there was like guys our age that had dads that were like maybe how we are now, but like I don't miss anything.
Bro, listen, look around. Just look around. Look how many fathers from our era, our generation that are present. Just present. We ain't even gonna go into the accolades of the children.
Oh yeah.
But just present, dude.
I just don't miss anything.
It's a good thing,
and that's good for it's working from home and with the career path, all that stuff. That helps where I don't have to miss anything.
Yeah.
But here's an example for like you were talking about jumping right in it when Rodney was first born, right? Like my first thing was like, give me that first diaper in the hospital because I need to rip this Band-Aid off because I don't do that. I didn't babysit kids when I was growing up. Like I wasn't dealing with babies taking shits in diapers. Like my first thought was like dive head first into this thing and get going. Like get that first tar diaper out of the way out of the hospital. And then, that's where I always say like, oh, I kicked off my fatherhood right there with that first. Like, do you remember like a moment for you where you were like, this is me just like diving right into dad. I know, right? It's like mine was so stupid and simple. It was like it was right in front of me.
That shitty diaper. That's what
just like boom, you're at the hospital, baby's born, first shitty diaper. If anybody's ever had a newborn baby, you know that first one is like tar black.
Yeah. And
you just gotta rip the Band-Aid off.
I don't know. I think just the day to day, going through doctor's appointments and let's say we gotta go to Loyola for XYZ or whatever. That should help me lock in and really start to hone in on like what it is to be a father. Yeah. Not just have kids. That was cool.
Responsible for somebody else.
That was that right there, that fucking did it for me, bro.
I classify myself as I'm pretty naturally selfish person. Like I'm always thinking about what Joe's gonna do. What's Joe got going on? It was a cool big eye opener for me once I had the first one, and like I fell in love immediately. Like people say corny shit all the time, right? Like you never be the same, or like the first time you hold them and all that. It's pretty real. I mean, like I really did. Like as soon as I had her, and Addison was interesting, my daughter, because she had this thing like when we went to the ultrasound for the first time, like we really got, I mean, whatever it was, 3 months in, 4 months in, that she had something on her kidney that they thought was like this. They told my wife the medical name for it, of course, Google. It's time to Google it 100,000 times, and it was like basically a 70% chance that this is something that happens in males.
Oh,
So, and we didn't find out. So we thought for sure. And I wanted a girl first. What about you? Did you want a girl, boy? Did you care? Were you just like?
I think I wanted a girl.
Yeah, I think I always.
You
wanted
had a girl first.
Yeah, so I had the girl. So when she was born, we had no idea. We thought for sure. We thought for sure, boy. This whole thing, and nothing ever happened with the kidney thing. It was never like a problem, anything like that. Yeah. God bless. We're very lucky. But she comes out and we're like, holy shit! And we were all both like, it's gonna be a boy. We know it's gonna be a boy. So I was pumped. Like all the people around me, all my friends, my brother's friends, people who had kids around me, all had girls, and I spent so much time with all of them. I was like, this is the best. I know I'm gonna pay for that. I'm at 13 years old right now, so I'm gonna pay for that.
Hey, I'm gonna keep in touch with you, man.
Boys are hot now.
Yeah,
boys are hot. Things are happening around our house right now, Rod.
So
So you mentioned when Lil Rod was born, you kind of slid in that he was on the spectrum. So like going through that point, like how when did they figure that out? Like how did you even know to even look at and say like, oh, he might be on the spectrum? Like what age or
development? I just kind of take a look at his development, and they say you're not supposed to compare your kids to anybody else, but I was like, what the fuck?
That's
man?
Natural.
He wasn't walking at a certain age. His talking was a little bit delayed.
Okay.
So look, I'm gonna tell you. So I ended up getting him diagnosed at 3 years old. When he turned 4 years old, I ended up getting a job at Cornerstone as a case manager.
Where at? Is that the Ricky and Joliet here?
Yeah, here
like
in
the
Joliet.
Six Corners area?
Yep.
Okay.
No, that's one of the locations. But
so where was that located?
So I work. The job I'm talking about, I was hired in a residential department.
Okay.
And as a case manager for group homes in the area for individuals with autism. So through that, I was able to like earn a state licensure as a qualified intellectual disabilities professional. And basically what that does is you got to maintain CEUs, learn about your shit, know how to deliver services to these people. And through that, bro, it just helped me obviously learn about it, and then help deliver it to my son.
This was before Rodney or after Rodney?
This when he turned 4.
So that's when you got all this certification.
Yeah,
and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, and it all just so happened. I walked into a job fair. I was looking for a job. I was working at a foster care agency in Chicago.
Okay,
love it. Shout out to my kids at Children's Home and Aid. They ain't kids no more. They're like 20, 25, 26.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Them still my babies, though.
You see any of them?
Of course.
Do they reach out?
Yes, still, man.
That seems like that'd be too emotional for me.
Nah,
I'd be
bro.
crying all the time.
Nah, hell no. Them my babies, man. You gotta look out for them, and that's the whole look. I said all that to say this: like, if you're not out here giving back, you really spinning your wheels. And so I was fortunate enough to have this be my career. So the program we ran, it was an after-school program, closed down, ended up coming back home to Joliet, and I walked into a job fair, Cornerstone, I don't know. I was just talking about, hey, man, what up?
We'll see.
And ended up, talking to the chick about the job, ended up getting it, and from there, it changed my life in terms of learning and being able to apply, not just to my son, but the individuals in the area who may not have that advocate, or we didn't have we didn't have as many definitive labels, and autism right now is not even neurodivergent. So because we all neurodivergent, that's
a word that I don't know very well.
Okay,
neurodivergent,
right? That just means you wired differently.
Yeah,
not autistic or on the spectrum. You're neurodivergent,
and like you said, that it wasn't. I don't know. They didn't slap it on everybody back when we were kids, you know. And it was. I mean, I don't think it was as prevalent, and maybe it wasn't just. It was just underdiagnosed or something, or because like obviously now like everybody's on some sort of Ritalin, what used to be Ritalin back in the day. People are on all kinds of crazy shit. Everybody's on a spectrum of some sort, but now it's just like a completely different world, and we know so much now, right?
Yeah. So they need protection. They need advocacy. They need people out here And once I figured that out, it was like, yeah, okay, this is what I'm here for.
Felt good. Like it's like
Oh, man.
it's almost like selfish to
Oh,
be like
man.
it made me feel good.
Well,
I'm helping them, yes.
of
But
course, my son. But once I started to see how much support was needed
yeah,
and how little was out there, and I'm already in this, I got to step for them. Like, come on, man. You're not finna play with them. And that's the thing. Like, people don't know what it is, what a mental health diagnosis really is. So you may just, he crazy or the little retarded boy or shit like that. Like
that was our era.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
before
yeah.
us too.
So I had to clean that up and educate people. Like, nah, that's not that.
That's
like,
not how it works.
Yeah. So it's all good, man. It's
and
my
I think
calling.
more people are like kind of understanding it now, and I think more people are experiencing it in their
Absolutely.
life, and like you said, it's driving them to maybe get more educated and kind of understand
Awareness.
what it is.
Awareness.
So once you kind of started getting into that world, and then he's 4 years old, like what did you start to see or start to kind of work on? Like what kind of things does he have that like, oh, this is something I need to learn about, like little quirks or whatever it is that
strategies, interventions, just ways to support. You know what I mean? Like, learn. You really got to learn. That's what was so interesting to me about, the whole diagnosis, just the brain and how it works and how it's wired and how we think. But you may think that you're neurotypical, but you also have a neurodivergent way of thinking.
There's no way I'm
You
neurotypical.
My
brain says,
none of
no
us
way.
are neurotypical. That's the thing. That's what we need to understand. We all fit under this umbrella.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's really cool to actually learn about that and how we actually do fit. They just they meaning people who have been diagnosed with autism, ADHD, OCD, all of these different, diagnoses. They all fall under the umbrella. So
yeah. So my
That's my
oldest
favorite part,
is
bro.
at age 5 or 6. She was diagnosed with dyslexia. So it's like a form of dyslexia that's not, it's not like the words are backward, like people visualize dyslexia is like, oh, I switched this with this type thing, but it's like in the same vein as that. So she had a really hard time, so she's got like an IEP plan, all that stuff for school.
Good.
So she gets extra time on testing, things like that. And even at age 13 now, she's getting like straight A's, and she's in normal classes. She's going to go to West next year. She's in honors and AP classes.
Sure.
At age 5 or 6, we were like, oh my God, like she's going to be so behind. She's going to be reading behind everybody, And then you got my son who's 12 who has no issues. So he just thinks he's smart, and then he don't slow down and finish shit right. I'm like, oh, you're real smart, but, and so we're always just like really, it sucks, but we're proud of her, we're like, look, you just worked your ass through it. That's, and not everybody can do that. Not everybody has the same kind of like makeup to do that or the ability to do it. But it's just something that, at age 5, we were kind of like, oh shit, this could be a struggle her whole life, and then now we look at her and we're like, Jesus, like she just,
kudos to you for early
well,
intervention.
That's my wife.
And your wife.
My
All right.
wife. She was a teacher for 14 years.
Okay.
She's an elementary school teacher. So, if it had been up to me, I probably would have been like, she's fine. We don't need to go to Naperville and get her tested and have her see all these people. But yeah, credit always goes to Mrs. Bobby. She's the smart one.
One time for Mrs. Bobby.
Yeah, right. Seriously. So with when you were working at Cornerstone, like aside from obviously what you're taking home with you and talking to your son and all, and taking strategies home for that, like what's your day to day like for Cornerstone? Is it do they put you like, oh, you deal with this specific age group, or it's more the adults, or how does that go?
I initially started out in the children's group homes, and throughout the years, my caseload changed. So I carry a caseload of about 15 individuals that I, in essence, manage their lives, government benefits, medical appointments, things like that. A lot of skill building, interventional strategies, but that's all the shit that's on paper. But what I really do is kind of like what my uncle did for me. I just kick game to him, like real life, real situations. Like
preparation for
like, look, these are social, interpersonal skills that you can develop. All of that other shit, they're gonna put you in the classroom and they're gonna teach you that. But I'm here to give you the game, because different than me. Nobody just was there to give you that game. And so what, that's like something that really got the shit going to me. Then I incorporated the fitness into it. And then the shit just really, it really took off. But
so that's another level then. I mean, because that's something, just being a guy who does a podcast and likes to listen to other podcasts, and I get into, like the nerdy science ones and the fitness ones and all that, and then you start to hear about what that physical exertion can do for your brain and for your mentality and for your focus and all these different things, and then it's kind of like, duh, like I can point out every day I didn't work out, and staring at my computer while I'm trying to, do work for the hospital, like I should have worked out.
Yeah. It's a huge I don't know, it's like wide open. If you think about it, we really don't have, for those individuals in terms of fitness, it's not a whole lot of opportunities. You can't say there's this adapted workout class here at this gym. It's not.
Can't go to LA Fitness and get in the
exactly. So
they adapted.
So inclusive fitness is what it's called. Became a really big part of the services that I offer because it was just wide open. And I have a state licensure, been doing it for about 8.5 years. So this is my passion. It made perfect sense. Yeah. It ain't a whole lot that you got to put into it. It's just about getting people educated and getting them moving, bro.
Yeah, I mean, simple, right? It's simple.
Getting the brain healthy. Neuroplasticity that's a thing. Yeah, to be able to adapt to change in life. Like we all could benefit from this shit. So imagine somebody battling more mental health issues, then psychotropic medications on top of that. Movement is the medicine. That's the goal. Movement is the medicine.
It's similar to like people that suffer from whatever depression or anxiety, things like that. And how many people? I mean, I know people who work out because they're just not mentally I don't want to say that jokingly, but people will describe themselves as like, I'm outrunning demons on a treadmill. That's why I'm on the treadmill, because if I don't, I'm a fucking nightmare to be around. Like that. People think about it. People approach it that way.
It's a very healthy way to look at it, believe it or not. Yeah, I mean, whatever your why is, define it and go get it.
And it's like, how do they you're doing that. Sure, right? Rodney figured that out, but it's like, how do you apply that to a bigger swath of people in those situations at Cornerstone and beyond, at people on the spectrum and people with depression? Like, how do you? Why don't we have like government programs for this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
because they don't make enough money. It costs them money.
Right.
It's costing them money as opposed to making
story
them
of
money.
everything.
You want to go there?
I mean, we
can go there.
You said you're on a time limit. I can't. I mean, we can. Well, go down
you talking about language, but diagnoses. That creates income, medication.
Big.
You get somebody healthy. They don't want you healthy, man.
Nobody does.
No, hell no. How many
wild?
How many restaurants you see up and down Jefferson Street, and where's Whole Foods at?
No.
You know what I mean?
Not in our community.
Where's Fresh Time at?
They give us all a couple of them. They give us a couple of stores here and there in Joliet, and
so it ain't,
outside of that,
You go and look in the grocery store where all the healthy shit is and how much it costs. Go look up. Go next time you go to the grocery store, look at raw organic honey and look how much that shit costs.
I mean, we struggle.
I don't want you to have that shit.
We struggle with it every day. What we can spend. Like what you can spend. Like, well, I want to eat. I want to eat healthy.
Oh, it costs, bro.
And everything that you put into your body. I mean, we're constantly talking to our kids. We got a pantry overflowing with bullshit. And that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why they don't feel great that day. They're tired or whatever it is. And same thing for me. It's like, it's easier for me to go grab something out of there and sit down at my computer and work all day. It's just slowly murdering yourself, basically.
That's pretty much it. I mean, but I know we all got the same habits, bro. And that's what I really try to explain to my clients, like, don't beat yourself up. You got the average American diet.
Yeah.
You live in America. It make it hard for you to be healthy.
There's ways to do it, but this
ain't San Francisco where you gotta,
It takes everything. It takes time. It takes commitment. It takes finance. It takes consistency.
All of that.
Consistency is a real problem.
Resources. Like,
if you could give people consistency in a pill, they'd be.
Oh God.
The world would be a completely different place.
No, because then I wouldn't have a job.
Nah. So, well, fast forward. You're starting to apply that to that. Like, that's not the only form of fitness that you do, though, right? Like, you do just if you need a personal trainer type stuff too.
Man, brother, everything. I ain't turning nothing down. Personal training, one-on-one, small groups, youth athletic development. I work with a couple teams here in the area, just doing speed and agility, things like that. Also, a new thing that I've been doing that I really am kind of falling in love with is the community education. I taught a class over the summer at JJC with a business advisor of mine, Kids College, Young Innovators. And it was all about brand development, So the whole thought behind that is just creating this generational wisdom. We want to create generational wealth. That's the goal. All right, cool. Let's work backwards then. How do we get to that? Generational wisdom. You can't go nowhere if those things aren't passed down. And that right there is that I found to be almost as much of a niche as fitness. I always say it comes to me and through me. I'm not a gatekeeper. I don't try to, it
doesn't stop with you.
Yeah, I mean, the game is to be sold, not to be told. But if you show that you want it, I'm here to give it to you. You know what I mean? It's like that.
How do you get involved in something like that where you're actually like a proctor teaching this?
Oh man, get your ass out here. You
just knew somebody who was doing it. Like, how do you get hooked up with JJC? Like,
I started digging, bro. I did, from my business. How do I grow my business? I met there's a JJC downtown lady by the name of Fatina Sayed. She is my business advisor. I've been working with her for about 2 years, and there's a couple other people down there, Brian Kincaid, Jeff. They all good people, bro, and they really helped me put the pieces together to go from the idea to the actual, business plan, marketing, development, website, you name it. I was able to go step by step through the process. Okay. And, they're my people. I love them, and they show me a lot of love. They put me in the room of a lot of good places, and that's how I got the opportunity to do the class over there. And from there, I got the opportunity to come to Joliet West.
You just posted something about that recently.
Yeah,
right?
that was some cool shit, man.
So you high school kids,
The entrepreneurial class. They actually came to JJC one day. I was there, and I was asked to do a presentation. And I talked about. I always give like a book review. I'm big into reading, and the teacher liked it. We ended up linking up.
Okay.
I got the opportunity to come and talk at the school, which was just dope as shit.
So what'd you talk about with them at West?
Oh man, brand development. I think that was the focus of the class. So
was it based on the book that you were the book that?
Nah.
Okay. So
just straight.
That just made the connection, kind of.
Yeah, they had a project. I think they were working on a project, and she just asked me to talk about my story, how I got here, and honestly, once I got up there, I just started talking. we just kicked it for a 45-minute period, and it was just really cool. I felt really good about it. Talking to them kids, to see them actually engage, not on their phone.
Yeah.
Like. Asking questions.
I was curious what that crowd is like now.
It was different.
Like, all right, they're kind of locked in a little bit.
A little bit.
They came in on the level with me.
A little bit. It took me, I'm me in any room that I'm in, and I think that's what got them. I think that's what got their attention, because I think they expected a guy to come up there and say, "Hi, I'm Rodney Baker." You
got that in your repertoire when you need it.
When I need it, but it wasn't that. I have to be genuine, authentic. And I just came in there and kicked it. Like, yo, this is what we're going to talk about. Went through a few bullet points, but most of the time I just came straight off the dome with it. And ended up doing like 3 periods, man. Like,
oh, shit.
Back to back to back. And so after the first time, I'm like.
Bring in another group.
Yeah, I'm like, how the fuck I'm supposed
Rod's
to remember
on fire
all that,
right
man?
now. Bring them in. Don't stop the train.
Yeah. But it's really like that. Everything is all snowballed into more opportunities for me. And that's what I try to relay to them. Like, man, if you get out here and put your feet on the ground. Whatever you say you want, you can have it. When Nipsey say you can have it all, it's all about your reasons.
Hustle, all right.
You know what I mean?
Now we're getting real wisdom.
That's what it is.
So I mean you walk into a room like that, right? You are comfortable, yeah? Like you get in there, like you're like you before something like that. Do you get in your head? Do you get anxiety, or are you just like, nah? I know how to approach
I'm
this.
a dog, bro.
Yeah,
I'm a dog.
I kind of got that impression.
I'm built for this shit.
I was just because I always put myself in
you know what?
people's shoes, and I get a little like
Let me be honest with you.
I'd be trying to find a way out of that.
The first time, like I mentioned, they had come down to the campus downtown at JJC. The first time, I was a little, I don't want to say nervous. I just felt nerves. I had a feeling of anxiety because I'm Rodney. I'm not nervous. I had this feeling, right? And it was in the way. I think I did okay, but I got the opportunity to do it again. And that's when I said, you know what? I ain't coming in there with my shirt buttoned all the way up and all of it. You know, I just felt better, relaxed. You know, it didn't hurt that we was in our alma mater. I was like, you know, I just felt good, comfortable.
Yeah.
And once I just started talking, it just came. And that was just.
Like I've been in these halls before.
I've been here. I've been in your shoes. I've been in your seat. I'm one, you know, I just made a few right turns. And like I say, that's the most important thing for me is giving back, giving them those stories, letting them know, like, you on the right path. You might bump your head a few times, but, like, don't let that shut you down. Because I'm going to tell you, I bust my shit a bunch of times. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, right? Yeah.
I bust my shit still busting my shit.
Yeah.
But
what are you doing if you're not?
Yeah, exactly. I'm learning. I'm up. I'm still going. So
if it's too comfortable, you're probably on the wrong path, right?
I'm a firm believer in that. Something ain't right.
Now, well, something too that you kind of touched on it lightly, but something I'm noticing through whether it's like podcasts that I listen to that are national, big podcasts, or friends, or just people in my life that I've seen succeed, right? You notice the genuine, authentic that you brought up, like just being genuine, authentic. And when especially when applied to these situations where you're kind of striking out on your own to try to do something for yourself, not through a corporate business, not through but genuine and authentic. Social media, all that stuff. To me, those are like what I gravitate towards. Those the podcasts when the people feel authentic and real. Advertising, anything, honestly,
no doubt. When
it's real. Like, do you notice that too? Like, do you have people around you that you've seen succeed in that light or anything? And like, I just can't buy it when you can just smell it on them. Like,
yeah, I've been blessed with that sense, like you know authenticity, and people gravitate towards you for being that. So
the off the dome piece, like I always have respect for that. It was like that in music. Like, did you write your own? Like,
hell
did you come up with? I mean, it just applies to a lot of areas for me, where I prefer that story. I prefer that story that you kind of did it yourself and made it yourself, and that you come off as authentic. Like I'll go over Shannon, my wife's shoulder while she's following her influencers or something on Instagram, and I'm like, that's bullshit. You're watching bullshit right now. And some of them I'm like, all right, she might actually use that product, or whatever it is, or like that might be a good item to go. I don't know. It's something I'm always obsessed about. Like, do you recognize that too in like the modern version of social media and all that stuff?
Well, yeah, and specifically in the fitness, because it's such a saturated market right now. You got to be able to discern authenticity or genetics. You know what I mean? Like this dude, damn man, I wish he would train me, but this dude is fucking blessed. Like, you are not gonna look like him.
Right. These
so
like V-shred dudes and all
or what
like
are they saying? If this guy or this girl, if they look good or if they had this great physique, all right, cool. Let me hear what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Let's explain it. Like, and I like that. You got to give the why. That's my number one. Give people the why. Get
some Liver King guys out there scamming the world.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, man. But
they're out there, man. People are out there.
I just saying it
preying on people.
Morally, how you do that.
Yeah.
How you do that? That's why
they're not happy people.
Yeah, you got to live with yourself though for that. And this is how I live with myself. I do point. Right by people. I've done wrong, but this is what I lay my hat on. Every day. This my shit. This and fatherhood, faith, fatherhood, fitness.
ownership, accountability, all those things
all of that.
are lumped into it, and that's what makes it, a positive success for you. So if you're saying you're like around 6 years into the kind of the fitness side of things,
into the business
into
fitness
the business
side of things.
like,
I'm about 15, 16 years in the fitness industry.
So with what you're doing for yourself in that like past 6 years, how have you been kind of evolving? Like where are you at now with it? Like what's a way to get a hold, to be a part of something you're doing, or like almost like what's your day to day? Like you consulting with people? Are you physically hosting classes with people? You got trainers working with you? Or,
no, every day. This is God is first thought every day. So I'm not confined to a building per se. I'm everywhere. All my information is on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I mess around a little bit.
See, we're too old for that.
Now I can't do the dances and shit, but I like it's a good app as far as information goes, man. And I like that about it. But
don't come in here telling me that, because now I've been holding strong, not downloading it. Now you're gonna make it sound good. I'm like, maybe I should download it. Maybe I should get in there.
It get deep, bro. But it's good. It's got its benefits. But I deliver personal training services through my home, mobile. I mean, and I come to people, do in home. I'm a personal trainer at the Joliet YMCA, soon to be Shorewood.
That's right.
I at Noel Park is one of the places that I do a lot of training at. I do a lot of classes in the area. I'll be having some boot camps coming up here in the spring, functional fitness, just function focused. Like we ain't out here building a fucking football team. At those camps, we know.
I was gonna say, what's your approach? Like how is it resistance? Is it functional?
It's function. It's function. We all looking to be 80 and being able to walk around. Like that's the goal. I don't give a fuck what you say. At 40 years old, your goal is to put another 40 on top of that. And so, that's how we kind of educate people on what and why and how. Destroy and rebuild. At 40, you probably learned a whole bunch of shit in high school that has been disbanded by now. Like, when you squat, put your head up and get, no.
Doing that shit the other day at the Y.
A lot of us need to destroy and rebuild.
This ain't good.
And so that's kind of the focus, man. But I do it all though. Powerlifting, like I said, youth athletic development. I'm a volunteer coach for Joliet Titans.
Of course you are.
So, I got my sons.
Where are you getting all the time? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to
from the source, man. I get my life from the source, bro.
Do you have good time management? Are you a good time manager?
I think when I'm forced to.
Yeah.
I think when I'm forced to. I don't know. After that, ADHD takes over, and I'm just all over the place.
I can't organize shit. I know some people that are so good at it too, and I'm just like, how do you do this? Like, how are you constantly like these dudes that have like their days off planned 6 months ahead of time for work and shit? I'm like, I can't. I don't even know what's happening tomorrow. Unless my wife says we're going on vacation in June, I don't have no thought of what's gonna happen. When's my next podcast? When's the next meeting?
Word. No, structure helps.
Did you here random question? Just because you were talking about being at West, did you have Miss Gates?
I did. Damn.
Miss Gates.
Ooh, Miss
Holly.
Gates.
Love
Miss
Miss
Gates.
Gates.
I love Miss Gates.
Miss Gates was my favorite teacher of all time.
Oh my god!
And she's still, she's friends with a lot of us on Facebook.
You fucked
still.
me up with that one, man. Damn.
I just remember her husband and her.
Big
one
dude.
went to Michigan, one went to Michigan State, I think. Like,
damn, Joe, you got a good ass memory.
She's got a story, something about somebody falling under a bus at Michigan. I don't know, whatever. Her husband, I remember, her husband was
big dude,
linebacker looking dude, almost like Byron Benyon. Almost, remember Byron?
Yeah, I remember.
Hey, who was the white guy, the bald headed dude?
Coach Rucker, man.
Rucker, that's it. See, I never had him. I never had him for classes.
Good
and stuff.
Dude. Shout out Coach Rucker.
Those
man.
Those two are. I think they both went to Western Illinois.
They went to Western.
Both
they was Winky's guys from Romeoville.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, because I went to Western Illinois.
Okay.
When I graduated from Western.
You didn't become a cop, bro.
No. Everybody. My roommate's in the military still to this day, but he was going for law enforcement when we were there. That's what they do. That's what they do out there. I just curious because she was such a good example. Like when we were in high school, my junior, maybe senior year, I think maybe she came along and she was teaching English, but then I think she taught psychology. I think at one point
was it
a psych class at one point. And then we had a club called Journey. Like, do you remember Terrence Collins? Like TC and me were really close, and we did like the Journey, But she was unique in the fact that
TC, my brother,
she was. I don't know if she was ahead of her time or what. Like, I don't know if this would be good now versus when she was doing it. But like, she would have times for us after class or like during this group where we could literally like it could be me and you. And she'd be like, I encourage you to ask a question from a white perspective to a black person, right? Like, and we'd ask some wild shit. We were fucking 16, 17, 18. Like,
wow.
Does that exist now? Like, is that a...
Wow, I don't know,
like,
man.
I'm just curious.
I feel like that had to be ahead of its time. Though,
right. Like, I feel like she, it was like I guess nowadays they call it like a safe space or something. Right. But, like, it was very interesting, like, the way she approached it. I'm just thinking to myself, she probably wouldn't be able to get away with that now. They probably have to shut her down.
I don't know. I wonder what she's doing now, man. But
she just encouraged everyone to, like, just be comfortable with each other. Like, whether, whatever the approach was, if it's good or bad, however you want to look at it. I just remember, like, making it easier for all of us to kind of just understand each other, right?
Yeah. That's
a
good way to put it out. Yeah.
I said that to brought that up to like bridge into something else, right? Because you were talking about being in front of that class, and like we talked earlier about how our fathers and stuff were great for us, like, and a lot of the story, right? Like your American narrative of a black person trying to get up and get ahead, is like, it's so stereotyped to say like one thing, right? It's this way. You experience it in a different way. Like you're talking about like, dad's your hero, dad's still your hero, mom, dad's still married. Like, did you ever feel like that was any different? Like, it disadvantaged, people that had the opposite story,
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm a black man, bro. It's just, I'm talking specifically in terms of my household, the way I was raised.
Yeah.
But I wasn't, far removed from it. My family is the typical black American family from Chicago. You know what I mean?
Is that where you guys grew up?
Yeah, my mother
South
from
side,
Chicago.
or like where at in the
East
in the
side,
city?
East side Chicago, so southeast. But yeah, I mean, like, look, bro. If you really, you can't avoid it. And so I was just blessed, bro. But I have a lot of positive male role models in my family, females. And so I was just fortunate enough to have those people in my life to keep me on a certain track. But, my guys, my people, they live those kind of lives that you described. Maybe single parent household, maybe just mom, no dad, shit like that. But it doesn't mean that those people aren't gonna be successful. I think it's an individual type of thing.
The narrative's always like, oh, you have to do something big to get out, like to quote unquote get out, something like that. But
some people can take it and use it as
fuel.
You know what I mean? Like, I got a shitty hand, but I'm about to turn up on my shit. And I like that. I know a lot of people like that.
Dogs. Those are dogs, right?
Dogs, straight up.
You talked about that, like, right? That's your mentality. Yeah. That's a dog mentality.
Absolutely. So, everybody don't have it. But most of the people I was fortunate to be raised around and am around to today, they dogs.
Yeah. It's weird, right? How you surround yourself with people, and you surround yourself with the right people, all of a sudden shit goes well.
Ooh, hey man, that's deep. Right,
it's crazy, isn't it?
Nah,
it sounds
way
simple.
Crazy.
It sounds simple.
No, it don't. It don't. It don't. Cause I mean, you gonna tell your best friend,
yeah,
hey man, I can't fucking hang with you.
Dude,
we all have struggled with that at one time in our life, but once you're ready to make decisions, things change, and it's that simple. Like, we could say it, it'll roll off the tongue like that, and you wouldn't even believe it, but it's that simple. When you're ready to make changes, shit'll change.
Yeah, and if you put the work in, right?
Put the work in and work out.
That's everything. And there's just really no way around it. Yeah. If the work's getting done, you're probably going to see the results. Yeah. And I'm sure there's cases, maybe I just haven't been unfortunate enough to experience it, where when you put the work in, sometimes shit doesn't go your way. But that's what you said, right? Keep getting my head knocked every day, and I still keep getting back up.
Consistency.
Keep the dog mentality. Keep it moving.
Consistency.
Right? Yeah, that's
it's just how bad, how big it is. What's on the other side of that? Mm-hmm. How bad you want it? How big is your blessing? If you're willing to keep getting back up, you multiplying that blessing. It's getting bigger every time, every fucking time. And so that's the real test. And I know that that's how God delivers his blessings. If you want it, you can have it. It's all about your reasons. If it wasn't bad, you get your ass knocked down. You ain't want it bad enough. You just lay down. I'm cool. I didn't want it. You didn't want it enough.
That's the thing, right? The lay down. Where's your breaking point? Where's everybody's breaking point?
Hey, some of us unfortunately live our whole lives not knowing that. So you gotta give thanks.
Live uncomfortably. Sometimes I like to.
Yeah, you said that. Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's the thing. That's Ben Johnson. Was what he brought into the Bears, supposedly. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Well, I hope we can get comfortable winning some fucking games.
How about that? How about we get a couple wins on a field here soon? So you guys, how long did you guys live in Chicago before you came into Joliet?
I didn't live in Chicago at all. My mother was raised in Chicago.
Okay.
So my parents.
She just had that kind of that upbringing and that mentality.
Her side of the family, I would say, is from Chicago. Mm-hmm. So my parents actually met here in Joliet at the prison. It was working at the prison, and back in the 80s when it was that big surge of people.
I wonder if they knew my grandma. My grandma worked in the commissary back in the day.
Man, prison folks know everybody.
Old Donna Bobby.
I bet you they know Donna Bobby.
That's funny.
Yeah, but, that's also a big, huge part of my upbringing is being raised around them COs, man. Like, that was a big thing. I had a lot of people in my family that worked for the Department of Corrections.
Damn near military level. It's like paramilitary feel.
I don't know if that's the way I describe it.
Not quite.
Not
military.
But that's what a dog
like
came
no bullshit,
from.
like
no bullshit,
mentality.
no bullshit at all, at all. And I just came to embrace it. I like it.
Yeah,
it's my dad's fault right now. I'm watching 60 Days In and shit. And,
I gotta see what this shit's like.
I just like it. I'm just like, this is cool. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it grabs the attention, right? Shit. Grabs the attention.
That's my shit, man.
So you say you're coaching right now too? You football?
Football.
So one of the boys, both boys on it?
Two of my two youngest boys right now, they're at a 8U level. So I coach them there.
Did you play Raiders when you were a kid?
I did. I was a Raider.
Because Raiders aren't around anymore, are they? Because it's like everything's Tri-City Wolverines. I see the Titans out
they
there.
Over there. We the Titans in Joliet. I don't know about Tri-City, but we got the Ravens. It's kind of me personally. I like the old days when it was one team. I mean, Joliet was well represented with that one team. We used to go kick everybody ass in the area. Couldn't nobody fuck with us. Now we kind of split up, and you got a good team over here. You got a development team here. You got this team doing whatever they do over there. So it's cool, more opportunities, but just in terms of like winning.
The game's so popular.
No, fuck winning. That's development is what we need to focus on, but what we need to also experience is winning young. That makes a difference as you develop, as you go through your process. You get to Joliet West. I'm not a fucking loser. I'm a Joliet Raider. I'm gonna kick your ass. Yeah. Now, we didn't have a team for the Joliet Raiders.
We had a tough high school run when I was.
We did. We played in a really good conference, good area, man. Talent was all around. But
Byron Carter, BC.
Yeah, BC was one of them original dogs.
He was like MJD. He had that Maurice Jones-Drew feel to him, right? Like a little bowling ball just come knock you the fuck out.
Yeah.
Nick McClanahan, Ryan McCarroll, who tragically passed away. Great. He's the reason why my son's middle name is Ryan.
He taught me how to play outside linebacker.
I love that man.
That was my homie. Yes, sir.
Yep. We went to a golf outing for him for years and years after. His parents stopped doing it now, but we keep in touch with all of them there. My wife was real close with him and his family for years before he passed. Good thing we stopped and rest in peace on that one.
Absolutely.
Well, Fumo was on here too not too long ago.
I think I saw Fumo. That's one of my Troy boys, man. That's my buddy.
Yep, Fumo, good man. But I mean, the game teaches. We didn't have a great run. I think Pat Nodes was the quarterback, and then Lass ended up taking. Eventually Lass was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Joliet Fireman. Joliet's finest.
Lass, good guy. That's my homie. Laser Lass.
Great guy. Yep. AT Laser. 18. That was his old AIM screen name.
So now these guys, it's funny that we grow up and. Now I coach these guys' kids, like Joe Cochran. I coach his son.
Shout out to Joe Cochran.
Big Joe the homie.
Oh, man. I went to Pershing with Joe. Me and Joe have known each other since we were like first grade, kindergartners.
Yeah. It's cool as shit.
Tall ass motherfucker.
You know. Yeah. So, active. Just stay. My thing is to stay active in the community, give it back. I done played sports and ran these streets. Now it's time to give it back. You got to figure out a way to do that shit. Whether you're gonna go up to the Y and teach the little boy over there in the corner how to shoot a jump shot, or you coaching football. I really believe in the importance of giving back to your community. That'll help our community. Get rid of that stigma, this crabs in the bucket shit that we got. Kind of Joliet, man. Joliet, this is always a negative stigma over Joliet. I don't give a fuck how you look at it. Joliet got some.
We do have the most negative stigma.
It's some real negative shit going on, but it's a really beautiful place if you know.
Oh yeah.
So
we love it.
We gon'.
So I'm still here, 40 years in. I can move. I can move if I want to, but we got people all over the city, that work for the water department, the fire department, the police department. I got no intentions of moving out of here, but like you said, it does get like a shit rep, like when you introduce yourself to somebody and like, where are you from? Oh, they're from Downers Grove, wherever they're from, and you're like, oh, the place with all the prisons, right? Like, like, oh yeah, the one we named our minor league baseball team after
Slammers
for the Slammers.
But it's good. It's good, man. I love my community and I do everything I can to give back, bro.
Yeah, I see that. That's you are. You're like it's something I didn't. I mean, not that I didn't know, but like I didn't expect us to go down that route so much of like the community service that you provide, and awesome. Like this is why I like doing this with people that I don't see every day. Like I don't know everything that's going on in your life. I kind of know a little bit about through Facebook what you're doing, all that stuff. But like all the Cornerstone stuff, the stuff with your son, the autism, like I didn't know that stuff. That's why like an awesome, genuine conversation like this.
Word.
Hey, have you ever seen when Dennis? You know Dennis Pittman, right?
Yeah.
They do their show. Have you ever seen it? I don't know if they've done it in a long time.
I know Dennis. What he
Him
got?
And another dude, and they just talk. Sir Michael will be on there sometime.
I know he got the B. Kelt's got the straight to the point.
See, I don't know that one. I used to catch them on Facebook Live every now and again.
DA? Talking about with DA. I just want to talk.
Yeah, I think that is just
Dantalian.
Yeah, that's the one.
Man.
That's the one.
Shout out Dantalian, man. He got a nice platform too.
He's got some gear too. I've been talking to Dennis about coming on for a while, but he does. I think he's in the accounting side of the world. And
you
this
get
is busy
Dennis
season.
in here.
This is the busy season for him.
Shit,
he's got some fucking opinions on him.
He gonna give you some good shit. He's funny as hell, bro.
I know he's great. I mean, I went to Hufford with Dennis too. Like he's the first person I've ever heard say got him. And now it's like everybody on the planet, like now it's changed over the years.
We from that era.
He was the first one I ever saw shoot a 3-pointer and just yell, "Got him!"
Man, Dennis had the nastiest crossover, bro.
Did he really?
He
I don't
really
give him
did.
that kind of credit.
Dennis, man, if you come on here, you got
Mario Edwards. He was the one that I used to
Rio
play.
had that jumper. He had it. His shit was wet, but Dennis had that damn crossover. I remember, hooping in Rob Nick house. Them was the guys, man.
Yeah, that was like at Pershing, DeMario and I and Lotta, Lucky, we were like the three of us from first grade on. Like that's every day playing basketball together. And Yanni was, she could hoop. She was first person I ever like looked at and was like, that might be the dog mentality right there. I feel like she was kind of a dog.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what else? Anything new? Like, is there a way that you can share for anybody to like go, dial you up to get fitness stuff? Like, what's your handles, all that stuff on social media?
No doubt. Instagram, gifted at gifted GIFTED _elite. Facebook, you can look me up, Rodney Baker, obviously. The second.
There he is right there.
Yeah, there you go. There we go.
There he is. That's the crew. That's the crew right there.
My babies, man. I love my babies.
We got banners. We hanging banners.
Yeah,
I like that.
You know that. That's the third year we've sponsored this YBL team. So, again, active. But Gifted Elite Academy is the business page on Facebook, TikTok, Gifted Elite, website, giftedeliteacademy.com. You guys can pull me up. And all my contact information is listed. But, yeah, anybody interested in personal training services, group fitness, team athletics, we have apparel coming out soon. I have a new mission tee. I'll be looking out for that, man. It'll be dropping here in a couple weeks.
You get some bulk Fabletics shirts. And get
I
them
do.
Printed up.
Actually, look, man.
I don't know.
You know how I'm coming.
I'm with you. I don't know. I'm a Fabletics guy. I mean, you said you kind of have a little bit of a time limit, so I don't want to like force you out. But if you still want to hang out, I mean, I got time to talk.
I got a good 15 minutes.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So what do you like? Do you do any of them crazy like get up in the morning like 5 a.m. and get like a group together? And work out. Are you one of those guys?
Yeah, I'm a 5 a.m.er for sure.
Are you?
For sure. 5 a.m.er for sure,
you're an
bro.
animal.
You know what it was? I did it, and it was like I kind of forced myself into it maybe about like 3 years ago, because I always was a 5 p.m.er.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like I really value that time, that hour, because that's family time. That's my time with my kids to decompress, to get, like I really don't like to sacrifice that time. And so I was like, all right, man, I'm going to get up at 5. I'm going to do this shit. And I just found how they always say, like, no, just try it, man. You're going to have so much energy. It worked for me.
100% it works. Man, no, you're absolutely right. It works.
And I just became addicted.
I just don't want to do it.
Stop. You guys do it. Come on,
I go through streaks, right? I go through streaks where I'm like good for a year or 6 months, and then it's like I could not do it. Like the consistency, it kills me. I don't have the dog mentality. I'm readily aware to admit that. But no, I'm thinking one day we gotta like film something. We gotta bring the setup to you. We'll set it up in like your home gym or whatever. And you could put whatever. I don't know if you have a YouTube page too or whatever.
No, I know YouTube. Maybe we can talk about that.
Dude, I'm saying like we could get a 30-minute thing where we could film it, put it on. Like, hey, now everybody's going to see.
Dude, I would love to have you over, bro.
That'd be easy. That'd be easy. Dope. This stuff's all portable as shit. But the 5 a.m. thing legitimately like it works. Like,
it is the shit.
I was in a good streak. I was working in Hinsdale, so same company I work for now. I was working at Hinsdale office. I didn't have to. This is pre-COVID. I didn't have to work from home, whatever. And I was good, man. 4:15, 4:30, alarm, boom, to the gym by 5, to Planet Fitness. I think I was going to at the time, and then I was right to the highway to work by 7, and it was just better.
Yeah,
like sauna, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It just all the extra shit. It is better.
What happened?
I know I'm comfortable. I get up, got a beautiful wife next to me. I got my works right here. It's like I don't have to go get dressed and all that stuff. And then I'll go through like a couple months where I'm like down there every morning getting it, and then I'll break for like a month. I need people to motivate me. Like I need somebody to hold me accountable. That's my problem.
You're in the right place, brother.
I got the
talking
guy.
to the right guy.
I got the guy sitting across from me.
Yeah, no shit.
You know what we should do though? Who do we leave out? We gotta give some shout outs before. If we got a couple minutes left to bullshit. Who?
Man, shout out to my brother Jeremy Fears, man.
Jeremy Fears, his son's killing something right now, isn't he?
I'm gonna say this before we even get to the sons, man. That's a good example of what I was talking about in terms of fatherhood. The brother do what he do for his kids, and I don't get into like personal business, nothing like that. But I just know, looking from the outside in. Shout out to that brother for what he doing for his kids. I watched, and I was privileged to watch the whole process through the internet. Mm-hmm. And I think that's pretty fucking cool, bro.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Like, I feel like I was shooting with them shorties
like
in the gym. I watched them shorties, man. So I like how the town is rallied behind them 2 young guys, man. I know it's a younger brother too. He hooping. But shout out to Jeremy for his fatherhood, efforts in fatherhood. That's good shit, and it needs to be recognized. Not just him, but the father who taking his kid to the Y every day. It's a lot of Jeremy Fears is out here doing that shit. Bro is just blessed enough to have them boys go to major Division I colleges, and we all get to watch them on TV, right? And it's the shit. It's the shit.
It's gonna be so awesome as they like grow into that.
Yeah.
Like even a girl who graduated ahead of us, Jenny Capista. Her oldest daughter. She married Chad Greenway, who played linebacker for the Vikings. For they met at Iowa, at University of Iowa. But their oldest daughter is like basically, I think she's on like the junior like Olympic basketball team, and she'll be eventually on Team USA down the road.
Okay.
And I think she's 17 or 18 now, and all of them same way. She's got 4 daughters, all of them following the same path. Athlete, just straight athletes.
That's what's up.
But Jeremy was He went to Joliet Catholic, right? Am I mistaken?
No,
That
Jeremy went
at first,
shit, I
he
don't know.
started at Joliet Catholic. He eventually came to us in junior year.
Yeah,
or
something like that. He
'Cause
bounced
I remember
around a
when he
little
came
bit.
to the West, it was like a big deal.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
We're getting like JCA's best,
Yeah.
athlete basically
Oh,
was
yeah.
coming to play with a team who was already good with DeMario and Kellen and
Shit,
Jabari and
I don't know if that was that year, but yeah, Jeremy came and that shit changed the whole terrain. It was
I remember
great.
going and they lost to Proviso.
Yeah.
Right? It was Proviso.
Proviso
played
at the United Center.
Yeah, I remember being at that game. Heartbroken.
Man,
I love those guys so much. I wanted
Sick.
them. I wanted them to win so bad.
Let me get one more shout out.
Yeah, please. Take all of them.
It's another thing like the Joliet fitness industry. It's a whole lot of division. We don't ain't nobody. We ain't competition with nobody. But you rarely find a lot of fitness people, I guess, networking. This person over here, they do their thing. It's all kind of separated. So I don't really give a fuck about all that shit. I think it's like important to shout out everybody. I don't give a fuck if we do the same thing. McDonald's ain't mad if Burger King move in town. You get what I'm saying?
They ain't worried about it.
Ain't worried about that shit. I'm over here doing what I do. So shout out Nate McCullum, House of Valor. Anthony Rainey, it's one of the guys I came up under, learned a lot from him. My girl Summer Parks, her and I have been working together.
Is that the video? It was like a little two trainers.
Most recently, yeah. So we'll be doing a lot of more content.
Who produced that video?
I did.
That's good. It looked good.
Thank you.
How'd you do it? Did you do it like on just like use an app or like
one of them apps? Yeah.
I don't know. It looked good though.
When you get into it, thank
right?
you, brother. I appreciate that because our show is like this shit is tedious as fuck.
It is.
It is a lot. Like I can imagine
people
doing
that can really go hard on it.
That's
this
crazy.
is simple. Like we're recording. I'm not going to be editing shit. Like this is going to go into a hard drive and then I'm going to put something on the front and the back as title or whatever. And then it's a pain in the ass when you're uploading and doing all that. But anyway, so McCollum, Rainey, all the
Jeremiah Bell. Who are you talking about?
Some Joliet Fitness.
Man, the Joliet Fitness, the old heads, the OGs too. I don't want to name too many people, but it's a lot of people that prioritize fitness and we kind of normalize it, but that needs to be shouted out. We living, we getting healthy, and that's a really good thing, even for the guy who's thinking about it and goes through a streak for a year.
Yeah, right.
Hey man, you gonna come back around and you gonna hit your streak again.
We need you.
We need you. We need you. I love it though. I like, I think we just got to do more of that. Show love, man.
Now we did talk a bunch about the fitness side of it and the physical activity. Like, what do you do? You talk food? Do you talk diet?
Yeah, I'm actually a fitness nutrition specialist also.
Okay, I think that's probably the worst part of my game is that diet. It's hard.
I mean,
it's really difficult.
Everybody, it's 80-20, bro, and the nutrition is 80, and because exercise is 20. It's amplified. Everybody want to do exercise, but without that 80, bro, I mean, I'm just telling you, you are literally spinning your wheels.
Yeah, I did the whole dry January. I cut out everything, any soda, coffee.
And how'd you feel?
Alcohol, everything. And I was definitely winning the day, but I was eating like shit. But like I was still eating. I don't want to say like total shit, but I wasn't making the best possible decisions because when I'm at my best, like 2016, 17, I was able to get like back into like legit, like where I look closer to you than me, and it was very. I didn't do anything specific. I didn't do like elimination diet, anything like that. I just ate a little less like bread and ate less sugar, and I didn't have there was no drinking soda shit and all that. I still have beer here and there, but other than that, it was a lot of rice, a lot of chicken, a lot of that kind of basic stuff, and that was great. Now it's like I don't I cut the soda out, I kept that out, but like I cut out like nicotine, coffee, everything completely for the month, and I was like. It's not that big of an effect. I'm like, because your diet didn't change.
Yeah, that's the part, and everybody gonna struggle with that. So that's why I really honed in on the education part of that, because you can't just give them exercise, bro. You got to give them nutrition. Like that has to be the primary focus. Changing eating habits, lifestyle enhancement. Again, giving people the why. Mm-hmm. Why can't I eat that? What does alcohol do?
Let me explain.
What does sugar do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally, what is this? Why can't I get? Well, let me tell you what this does to your body. How long it takes for this process, for you to get started. It just
you can go deep. You can get real education. We may have to film something. Maybe we do something outside of the podcast together. We have to do something. We got to produce something so that way you can get these things out to more people.
I need you, Joe.
Community service. I mean, like you add that in there, you can bring that into your repertoire to have a little like something digital you can give to people. Yeah. Like, hey, here's me. You might not be able to get me in the flesh every time, but here's some of Rodney's brain to,
I like
to
what
work
we're talking
with.
about. I like that.
So what do you do? Do you have anything like guilty stuff? Like where you're, like, do you have cheat days type shit, or do you mean what's your diet like now?
I mean, I'm pretty consistent. What's my guilty pleasure? I don't know, tequila.
Tequila. So you like a little? See, tequila's so big right now too.
Yeah,
it's
I know,
wild.
right?
It's wild. Like, 'cause, I'm deep. I'm deep in like the beer and spirits game when it comes to craft beer and bourbon and stuff like that. And I had a dude on here who's like this crazy. He's the guy. I always describe him to people as like he's the dude that has all the hobbies you wish you had. Like he's got all the crazy shit. Like he collects fucking poker chips. He's a cigar aficionado. He's got the craziest bourbons and he collects like corncob pipes and shit. Like it's wild. Drones. Any like big time thing that you can think of, this man collects it. And like 1911 45 caliber pistols. Like the dude has crazy insane collection of these things, but he's starting to get into tequila. So when he came on the show, he brought me like 3 like the hardest to find, the sought after Reposado and Añejo and one other one that's like their special release. And I was like blown away. I'm like, tequila done come a long way.
I'm telling you, bro. It used to be demonized.
It was like,
that makes me crazy.
Me, I can't drink tequila. I'll fight or I'll pass out or you're not gonna like me.
It's just how you are. It's okay.
And now it's almost like a health drink. It's like if you get good pure tequila and and you drink it with soda water or lime, whatever it is. It's probably the best alternative to.
That is actually, I just was reading up on that, but
supposedly even it works the opposite, like to where it's like almost healthy to like recover. I mean, I've heard people try to spin that. You can get studies for anything to tell you some shit, right?
All right, I'm gonna let them live with that one, but
that might have been Bert Kreischer talking about that shit on a podcast or something.
No, man, I'm like diet. I'm pretty consistent. I try not to eat too much like shit, especially because I got them babies, man. Yeah. And if we teach good habits and systems and processes now, they turn out, hopefully, to be more successful adults,
Hopefully.
They got me in them, so they gonna be wild.
Yeah, they're gonna have some dog in them too, though, so that's good, right?
Yeah, they got some.
They get some wild too.
They got dog in them, man.
We had some fun. As a youth. As grown men now.
Tore it up a little bit.
a little bit.
I remember you running around with your shirt off and shit.
Games. Yep. I used to have Nick McClanahan's name painted on, or his number painted on my chest. I think it's in one of our yearbooks.
That's when I first know. I was like, yo, this dude is cool.
I don't know what I was, Rod, but I appreciate the kind sentiment that you had a good memory of me.
I don't know anybody that got anything bad to say about Joe Bobby.
I appreciate that. Hopefully they're out there though. Yeah. They're out there though. Any more shout outs before we wrap it up and let you get back to your life with children and whatnot?
Dadding. I don't know. Shout out to the dads, man. All right. Shout out to the dads. I'm always gonna be an advocate for the dads. Autism advocate dads, fitness, faith. All of those great things. Y'all, reach out if anybody looking for fitness-related services, community education, and let's work.
I don't think this is the last time we're going to.
This ain't the last time, y'all.
We're going to do some form of video or something. We're doing something. We're going to figure something out.
We working while we working. Let's do it.
Yeah, right. It's all.
Never
the
not
wheels are
working.
turning while you're talking here. So we'll figure something out. But dude, thank you so much for coming here. I really appreciate it. I respect and love what you're doing. I can't wait to you. I'm shaking it with the mic in there. That was nice. But I'm waiting. I'm just waiting to see everything blow up for you and you
thank you.
Clearly, you're putting in the work, so that's what counts. And I hope everybody goes and checks you out. If anybody listens to this, get your fitness on, and then all the stuff with the community. I hope that encourages more people to get out and do more.
That's the point.
All right.
Yep. Thank you,
get
brother.
Back to it, dude. Peace.